As we continue in keeping with our theme, we promised yesterday that we are going to play a game. Has anyone watched Dragon's Den? Right. Has anybody not watched Dragon's Den? Okay. I'll try and explain it as simple as possible because sometimes I don't get it. So Dragon's Den is a program where individuals, organizations who are aspiring to create a product come through and present their product to a team who hopefully will fund it or will turn it down. So what we've got today, we don't want to call it a Dragon's Den because we don't have any dragons in the room. So we're calling it the solar panel. In our solar panel, which is the groups that you're sitting in, you have just formed, without knowing it, the British Methodist mission team on your table. So I'm going to start by asking you to just identify yourselves. If we start giving ourselves names, we'll be here until tomorrow. So we'll work with numbers. So if I could just allocate numbers from here, if that's all right, going across. So there's already a fight for a number, competitive much. So number 1, number 2, please remember your numbers. Number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then we've got 19 on Zoom. Oh, there's a kind of a side table. You'll have to get together somehow. So that's your 21. Where were we? Zoomers are 19? 20. So what we're going to do is we're going to present to you our mystery bag. If we could have a look at the mystery bag. You must invent a small act of mission or a community project using all 5 items found in the bag. And these are the 5 items. So in our mystery bag is a blank luggage tag, a yellow rubber duck, a packet of wildflower seeds, a tea bag, and a wooden clothes peg. This screen will remain on all the time, but if we just go back to the previous screen, please. How do these items help someone in your village arise and shine? You're going to present your ideas to our solar panel, who are the dragons for today. And the goal is we're looking for projects that are creative and full of light. So before we start, we'll have 30 minutes, 25 minutes at most, to discuss what our mission plan is. The first thing you need to do is identify who will come up and present for 2 minutes what your mission plan will be. I will introduce you now to our today's solar panel, the dragons. Carolyn Godfrey, Janice Clark, Nina Rawlins, and Annie Detcher. Will the 4 please remove themselves from the tables because we don't want any favoritism? In as many as you want. As many. There's been a question here on whether you get one tea bag or as many tea bags as you want. It's as many of those items as you would like. You're using all of them, but you can have 6 rubber ducks, you can have 10 tea bags, you can have clothes pegs, but you are using all 5 items. Any questions? Do we all understand what we're doing? I can hear a no. Do we all know who's presenting? There's a question. So remember, you're a mission team for your area. It doesn't have to be your particular village. It can be your church. It can be the whole country. But you're the mission team, the designated mission team. It will be judged. Can I ask our 20 representative to come forward? So in front of us are the people that you have chosen to be your communications officers for your mission teams. They each have 2 minutes to let us know of what you have decided. The judges, who are all sitting very seriously, are giving us 2 minutes for each team. And they're going to pick randomly the team that goes first. So it's not up to me. I had someone sneak in and ask to be first. It's not up to me. It's up to the judges. So judges, can we have the first number?
We're using a random number generator.
Oh, and they're using a random number generator. No favoritism.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Can I just turn it round to face, if it'll turn? I'm waiting for the clock to start. Okay, right. Good morning, panel. I'm mission team 5, and we are called Come and Connect. We're a mission team that really are in an inner city area where we've so many underprivileged children and where there's no recreation sources for them. People are struggling in the inner city with little garden space and few resources, with lots of lonely people that live in high-rise flats. So I'm here today to ask you for £10,000 to help us. They're very generous here, I've heard. To help us, we're going to apply to the council for an allotment, and we're looking for a grant to be able to spend money on this allotment so that we can serve our community, so that we can grow the flowers from the seeds that we're going to be given to occupy the children. The children, part of that money that you're going to give us, are going to be spent on 500 rubber ducks. And they're all going to have a label tied around the neck of the duck with an invitation to come to a tea event in the community hall. And we're going to grow seeds, we're going to grow sweet peas, and the clothes pegs are going to allow the sweet peas to be clipped to the trellis. So, I missed anything else. We've researched other partnerships and community projects. So our allotment is going to be blending nature, gardening, community activities, hosting toddler events, storytelling and fairs. We've plans to create flowers that the bees will be attracted to and hopefully can buy a hive to produce our own honey. The tea bags are going to be used for compost on our allotment afterwards. And I ask you to consider the grant, please, panel. Okay, I'll go now. Yeah.
I can see everybody down this side copying some of these. Next random number. Number 8.
I got
nominated for this, and I'm not normally the person who likes to stand up and talk, because I get nervous and my hands sweat. Right. We're table number 8, and the 8 looks like the infinity. So we were talking about creating this community cafe called the Infinity Cafe.
Oh, clock.
So decided to create a cafe in a new housing estate, because new housing estates are going up all the time. So we're in an Infinity Cafe. We'd have the pond for the yellow duck, the shape of an infinity symbol as well. The travel tags would be used for prayers in a shelter, but we'd also use the tags as pay it forward for a drink that somebody can't afford to drink. A pond, the water is calming, flowing, and if it was created in a certain way, we could use that pond for baptisms, for the multi-faith community cafe that would be running. Wildflowers, we'd plant them all around the pond, the area, the shelter, the cafe, which would attract wildlife, bees. We'd have beehives to collect the honey, to sell the honey. What else do I have? We'd look at maybe having 1 or 2 paid staff, so would probably roughly cost about £300 a week, maybe asking for £20,000 to build the whole thing. Maybe getting donations from councils, but also have volunteers from all the different churches, the denominations, the mosques, every church that's within the area. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. And just being open and having volunteers to work from every denominations to help out. So yeah.
With sweaty palms. I'm nervous. Our next random number is number 9.
Good morning. We are a group of people from diverse countries and cultures, and we've come together to produce a resource pack that we want to give to the people in our village to help them remember who they are and what they're called to do and how they're called to arise and shine. So in this resource pack, we have a tea bag, which people will start their day with. You arise with a cup of tea to refresh you, to strengthen you into the day. But instead of arising to the sound of a harsh alarm clock, you have this picture, this symbol of a rubber duck, which has a lovely soft sound and is glowing and yellow like the sun and reminds you to shine as the sun shines. It also reminds you that as little ducklings follow their mother duck, that we are called to follow our Father God. In this pack, we'll also provide a luggage tag, which reminds us that we're on a journey. We journey with God, and just as we hang a luggage tag on our luggage with our names on it, it reminds us that we belong to God, that we are on his luggage tags. And also that as we journey and we meet people throughout our day, we can write their names on luggage tags to help us to remember them in prayer. This resource pack will also contain wildflower seeds, which reflects the different cultures and diversity of the places that we all come from, because there are so many different types of seeds in this pack. We have a clothes peg that reminds us we're secured and fastened to God. And we end our day with a cup of tea.
Well, call the Irish if you want it to happen. Random number 1.
Hello. Hello, we are group number 1, and we wanted to do something that would have an inward impact for the people who are already part of our church and our mission, but a big outward impact as well. And the inward impact and the outward impact is up to the individual to decide. So we'll give everyone in our churches a bag with the tea bag, the wildflowers, the clothes peg, the luggage tag, and the duck. And if they need to receive that love and that care, then they can, and if they're in a position to give that love and that care, then they also can. The tea bag can be self-care, a nice hot cup of tea, but it can also be a chance for you to share with people in your community, an opportunity and a reason to pop round someone's house and have a chat with them. And we wanted to be able to do this as sort of a service within a church where we're able to give Bible quotes throughout, and it can be part of something bigger. So, for instance, we chose Hebrews about not forgetting the stranger and the hospitality. And then with the wildflowers, we wanted you to have a chance to nurture and grow something yourself in your own garden. But it can also be a chance of sowing seeds of faith if you wanted to go out to others and share that. And we wanted to talk about the parable of the sower. How long have I got? There we go. Okay. The clothes peg is about holding things together yourself, but also holding someone else steady. And we wanted to talk about how you can hold others, but how in Peter 1, that God can hold you. The luggage tag is all about how God knows your name and God cares for you. God knows you and God knows others. And we wanted to talk about Psalm 139, about how God has formed you. And finally, the rubber duck is about how God can shelter you under his wing. And also that God knows us like a child. And we finished with suffer the children. Thank you. I think that's everything.
If the judges were giving points based on the hype team, I think there'd have been a lot of points on this one behind the scenes. Our next random number is 11.
Good morning, Dragon Soul panel. I'd like to introduce you to our community initiative called Bring Me Sunshine. Bring Me Sunshine is based around the center of town, where we want to plant a sensory garden using the wildflowers. That would be a community-sown garden. And in this calming space next to a pond, we would like to put around the area all of the ducks with numbers on them, so it's a scavenger hunt, a duck hunt, if you will, that kids can then, when they come with family members, can find these ducks. The ducks will have numbers on the bottom of them. That will be connected to a clothespin that is holding bags of goodies with sweets and little treasures and an invitation to the church. Alongside this community space would be a tea cart, a little tea station where we would practice the hospitality of Christ. And then next to the sensory garden, we'd want a prayer tree that would have Bible verses and prayers on some of the cards, and blank luggage tags for people to put their own prayers, that people can come in and see what prayers that need to be, and to see what prayers have been done. We are looking from, we're searching out funding from the council, from other funders, and we hope you'll give us 50,000 pounds.
I think our grants committee might need to fundraise. The amounts being asked for here are getting higher and higher. Our next random number is number 14. It's me.
Good morning, team. We haven't actually named our project, but we could call it We Are Different, but You Are Special. And we don't want a lot of money. We're perhaps only asking for about £100 just to set us on our way. We are planning an open afternoon to welcome in some folk who have not been inside church before. We want them to see that we are not different. We see that the label for them is that it's blank and that they come to us as they are. We also want them to understand that God's love is open for all, and we don't label because God doesn't label. The seeds will represent that we are all individuals and grow in God's garden. Yes, we want to be hospitable, and we would like to offer our visitors into our open afternoon a cup of tea. We also thought in our discussions that the labels could be used for prayer opportunities. Some folk might find it hard to pray, and by writing a topic or a worry or a concern down, that they could put it on the tag too. We thought that any children that came could play with the rubber duck, or ducks in Latin. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry I've run out of time. I didn't want to gabble.
Thank you. She didn't finish, but I'm sure we got the gist. Next number is 20. That's me.
2 minutes.
It started.
Oh, good morning, ladies of Dragon's Den. I appear to represent Group 20. I say group because we have no table. We're asking for £9,450. Now, as some of you know, we're from the village of Blumpton upon Water, where a low-cost housing estate has recently gone up. And a number of the families within this estate, a lot of lone families, quite isolated. But within Blumpton, we have a lot of retired people who have a lot of skills that would be very useful to these younger people. So we are proposing the regeneration game. Now, this is going to start with everybody getting together in the village hall. Everybody who wants to be involved will have the name on a tag, and we'll pull out the tags to set up older and younger generations together, and that will be our starting point. Of course, there'll be tea. There always has to be tea. So we'll have tea and biscuits, and that'll act as an ice break. Everybody will get to know each other. Now, one of the things we're looking at is involving dads, the older men too. And so we thought the seeds, perhaps they'd enjoy more doing with a garden. So children, seeds, dads, older gentlemen, we think this would be a good mix. The close pegs, well, that would represent the practical help that we want to give to the young people in these houses. So it might be with washing, it might be with cooking, it might be anything. As well as that, we'd like to have something to bring all of the community together. So we thought a duck race would be very good, and that's why we use the rubber ducks. And we would also have a small community a small portion of the community who would be a part of that.
Remember to breathe. All right. Next one is number 2.
Hello, panel. Where we live is a small town that is becoming much larger. We have a link road that's been built, and in between the existing town and the link road, numerous new estates have been built, lots and lots of new estates. So but there are no facilities on these estates. They are just houses. There's no shops, no community centres, and no churches. And they might not even know where to find a church. So we would like to give them a bag of welcome. We would use a luggage tag on the side of the bag to say this is a gift from our church, give them our address and a small map, because it's not very useful if you're just saying it's there, if you don't know where there is. Inside the bag, there would be a leaflet to say that please use the seeds in a part of your garden, in your new build, that is currently bare, to show that God can bring love and life from new spaces. The pegs can be used for washing line, but also for using as bag closers. You need lots of those when you're moving, if you've got young children, cereal bags, things like that. The tea bags have a relaxing cuppa on us. At the end of the day, you move or men, or just you and your family. And finally, the rubber duck. At the end of the day, just relax in a warm bath with a new friend. Thank you.
I'm tempted to take them up on the warm bath and a new friend. Our next number is 18.
I was volunteered for this and I don't feel I'm in a very safe space. Okay. Good afternoon. When did we see you? Matthew 25, well-known Bible passage. In the current economic crisis, we feel that this passage and our little mystery bag of goodies really speaks to people's need. So our project would be a community project. When did we see you hungry and thirsty? With the tea bag, it represents our hospitality, the way that we can invite people into this community space and provide them with hot tea, a warm space, perhaps even something to eat. Tea and toast, what could be better? When did we see you naked? In the economic crisis, many parents struggle to provide clothing for their children, particularly things like school uniform. And so perhaps we could have a space in this community area, this community setting, where people can swap their clothes, their children's clothes and their school uniform. And we can show our hospitality and our providing for people's needs in that way. When did we see you sick? The wildflower seeds could be used to provide a community garden that speaks to people's well-being, being out in nature and also to ecology as well, inviting the bees and butterflies and other insects in, and for people to be able to spend time in that little garden and look after their own well-being. When did we see you in prison? People have so many burdens and prisons that they're in. The luggage tag might speak to the burdens that they carry and the baggage that they have, but also an opportunity to offer prayers and, I've lost my bit of paper, there we go. People struggle, so we could offer counselling or listening and an opportunity to pray with people. And finally, when did we see you alone? A lot of parents particularly struggle with moving into a new area or with their children. Rubber duck, play space for the children. Thank you.
I hope you feel safer, Jude. Next, number 4.
Number 4. Okay, so we are a small church in a small village. Sorry, we're going to address the panel. And we want to declare that we are still here and that we still are part of the community. So our mission statement is to bring light into someone's day, to make them smile and to lift their spirits. So the way that we're going to do that is 3 ways. Not necessarily simultaneously, but we're going to use the rubber ducks. We're going to have thousands of them. We're going to rubber duck bomb the village. And we're going to have a tag on the rubber duck saying that a smile, God loves you. And people can take that and do whatever they need to do with their rubber ducks. Then we're going to take our pegs and we're going to peg little bags of seeds to the bushes in our village. And again, with a message to say God cares for you. But also please care for these flowers by planting them and see what comes of them. And then finally, we're going to obviously use the tea bags, and we're going to have cards either in the shape of a mug or a teapot, and we're going to put the tea bags in them, and we're going to stand in front of our church, and we're going to hand them out. We're going to cancel Sunday service. And we're going to all do this during Sunday service, handing out, showing people that we are here and this is what we do. I've got some time. So I can also say that with the pegs, we're going to make sure that they are fridge magnets, because obviously the message that God cares for you is on there, so people can, when they've done their seed sowing, they can put this on their fridge and it's still there for them. So yes, we want to make sure that people smile. And obviously there's going to be a message with this to let people know who we are, website, QR code, and all of that to do. Thank you. Thank you.
Beat that. All right, our next random number. 19 is on Zoom. Just as we're waiting to connect to our Zoomers, we just want to remind you that if you're feeling a bit cold or a bit too hot, please let us know, especially the desk, the media desk at the top, so we can regulate. I think it's regulated right from the reception. So please let us know, don't freeze or heat up, and we're on our way. Also, please keep the door at the back closed when you come in and out. So number 19.
Hi there, we are the Zoom team, and our idea would have a duck race for all ages, but mainly including the young people within our church family. Everyone will be given a packet of seeds in a little envelope, and on the envelope will be a Bible verse, Matthew 13, verse 23, about sowing the seeds into the good ground. On each of the ducks, there would be a name tag with a name of somebody that people want to pray for, or a situation, or the hospice, or something like that. And while the duck race is going on, we will have plenty of tea and cake for everybody. And the pegs would be used to mark the beginning and the end of each race. And then when they planted the seeds, people will be asked to bring them back at a later date so that we can see the growth that has happened during the time that they've had them. Thank you.
Well done, Zoomers. I was just checking because you didn't have a timer there, so I was just wondering, but you were within time. Our next one, 15.
Good morning. It's good to be telling you about our project. Our project is Do You Choose Kindness, which sort of spells duck. So yes, this is a duck race-based community outreach project based around fostering kindness and togetherness in a village context. We would have a duck race, we would put numbers on the ducks, we would tie the luggage labels around the wrists of the people so that the duck person link is made throughout the race. We would obviously serve lots of tea. We would use the seeds to plant the wildflowers in places in our village that could do with a bit of cheerfulness and uplift. So, for example, around the speed signs as you enter the village. So people have a sense, we want to create that sense of community and happiness in the community, and we want to break down barriers so people see that the church people are, approachable people. This is why we're focusing on this theme of kindness. And what we would do with the clothes pegs, again, we would write choose kindness or other short verses and mottos on the clothes pegs, and we would have them on a line. People coming to our event could take the clothes pegs. Thank you.
Well, Number 10.
Good morning, everybody, and good morning, panel. So we didn't have a name, but we can call it Together We Rise. We will do a dark trail or a dark hunt with a luggage label with an invitation to come to church with a date and time. And the question will be, why is the church doing the dark trail? Come and find out. When you come, we'll offer the hospitality with tea bags, and explain how the ducks are symbols for caring for one another and creating a safe place. The tea bag is part of compost that we'll use as an opportunity to plant a seed and watch it grow as a symbol of creation. Finally, we'll have clothes peg is a symbol of support that the church can offer, and the tag, they can write what the support they need and put it on the washing line. Thank you.
Right, we're moving closer to the end. 13.
Good morning, team. We are the British Methodist Mission Team. We have a heart for mission. And we are aiming to raise funds for a school in a village in Rwanda to help young people learn and rise and shine in the Christian faith. But we're not just doing this ourselves. We are asking for a grant of £10,000 to start off the build. But not just for you to do that. We, the team, are going to do our bit by organising a village fete. And we are going to have a lot of fun there. We're going to have some games. We're going to give people a lot of tea, or they're going to buy a lot of tea. And we're going to have games with the rubber ducks in a paddling pool, fishing out for a duck, and you will have a prize of a wildflower seed packet with an instruction where to plant your seeds and a bit of information about eco-growth. We're also going to have a competition with the clothes pegs to see how many you can hold in one hand. They'll all be on a line and you'll just have to gather them. We, with the luggage labels, we're going to write prayers of encouragement to those in Rwanda who are starting off the build, to encourage them with the start of this project, and to have a link between the team, the Methodist team here, and the building team over in Rwanda. We're also going to sell wildflower seed packets, £1 each, again with a message about eco work and using them in a friendly way. And that is the pitch.
Oh, you got a round of applause. Good thing the judges are not in the audience. Our next number is 6.
Good morning, team. I wasn't expecting to be called. It's funny, isn't it? I would like to introduce you to our village. We are very fortunate. We have a beautiful stream running through our village. There is a wild land near it that we have earmarked to try and make a community garden of. We are asking, what we would like to do is have a nice bench there and have it accessible for all. So it's got to be an accessible garden. We are starting off our time from our church. We are going to organise a fun day, a community fun day, where we're going to serve tea and, of course, cakes, being a Methodist church. And we will have a duck race for the children because we have this wonderful stream with the lovely bridge over it that the children can watch ducks racing. One of our aims to set up here at this time is words, I've written it all down and lost the words, but we want to set up a event to show a time bank. So we want people to put on the luggage labels what time they could give to help other people in the community, and also some people to put in what they would like help with. We have a few young families very needy. So the pegs would be used to peg these onto a washing line at the time, and the seeds would be given to all the children to show them how planting seeds will grow, just showing the same way as God's love grows amongst us all. And our main thought here, we wouldn't put people's names and that on the tags because of safeguarding. We know that they can't do that, and that we... So we would have to use numbers. Okay, thank you, team.
Clever and sneaky. Number 7.
Good afternoon, everybody. I have not come for money, but I've come for enlightenment. And I've brought with me my special church group, table number 7. Thank you. The first item we thought about was the tea bag, and everybody sat in my house and drank tea with a very strong tea bag. The second thing they noticed was a pile of luggage labels beside them. And on those luggage labels, they had to write invitations to our local event in the park. One lady picked up 36 labels. She's a good lady. The second thing we decided was an enormous rubber duck, plastic duck, on a helium balloon at the centre in the park, so that everybody could see where the event was with the instructions. Thirdly, we were giving, fourthly, we were giving out pegs as people came in, and they would have a number or a colour on, and everybody had to go and find their appropriate number and colour and bring them back. And when they came back, there was another special invitation which related to the church. The last thing we gave out, and we were very good givers, were the seeds. And everybody took them to their gardens and homes and carried on with the light and the colour in their life. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Number 17.
Hello. So our starting point was how the church is unfortunately in decline. So our focus was about going back to basics to build a strong foundation for the church of tomorrow, about making space for God to do great things. And you'll see in a minute that what we came up with is metaphor-tastic. It works on so many levels. So we want to feed people spiritually because that's how the church will grow. So we would give everybody a care package, a glittery, multicoloured, bath-shaped box titled Duck to the Future. So in that box, there would be instructions and the items. So the first thing, make yourself a cup of tea and take a bath with your duck. Talk to the duck. Imagine big, connect with that childlike faith when you dreamt big and the future and the world was your oyster. And then write on your tag an aspiration for yourself, for your future, what you feel that God is calling you into. Take the peg it on your hallway mirror so you see it every single day. And then go outside and pray and scatter the seeds in the areas near where you live that need renewal. And repeat, essentially. And all of the metaphors, obviously, so the ducks are survivors, they bring joy, they're yellow, and it's about arising and stepping into your future.
We've got some preachers in here, I think, people who could go on and on for longer than 2 minutes. Number 16.
I knew we'd have to follow a really good one. That's not fair, is it? I look this way. Yeah. Hello, panel. I wonder if, like me, you've got items in your wardrobe that you haven't worn for years. Because actually, you don't really like them. Or they're too big for you, or they're too small for you. And yet they sit there. And I wonder how many people there are out there in the world who would long to wear that clothing. So we want to invite you with a luggage tag to come to our event and bring that clothing with you. Bring a suitcase of clothing if you like, and come to our event with your clothing. When you get there, we're going to give you a tea bag and a rubber duck. Now, it might be a rubber duck with clothing on. It might be rubber duck earrings, as demonstrated by my wonderful assistant. But we will give you, in some shape or form, a rubber duck and a tea bag. And we ask you to take that rubber duck and that tea bag and go and make a friend. Arise with the power that you've got in you that Carolyn told us about this morning, and go and make a friend with your tea bag, with your conversation starter. And Sylvia, do you want to quickly say how conversations have started with your earrings?
Amazingly, I live alone. There may be many days you don't speak to anyone. People can't believe it, but it's true. If you wear these, I promise people speak to you, generally.
Before we send you away, we're going to spend the afternoon with you, and we're going to be planting seeds. We're going to give you teas and coffees, but we're going to be planting seeds, and we're going to be talking about how you can go out and be that seed in the world that turns into a beautiful flower. We're going to, all those metaphors that everyone else has used when you're nearly last. All of those, all that theology that everyone else has mentioned, we're going to use all of that.
Talk about taking on everyone else's ideas. If you go into the World Federation room, there's a whole lot of earrings on sale. You might be able to find rubber duck earrings. Or seeds, I don't know. Number 3.
Hello, panel. I represent a table of people from a number of different churches, but the representative one is going to be a village church, and we want to actually become more part of the community, because sometimes when you've been there a long time, people don't notice the church anymore. Have you noticed that? So what we thought is we'd actually do a large poster with a duck on, and we'd actually come and say, "Come and find me." So the invitation is to find the duck. The ducks will be scattered through the village, and they will have a tag on them to say there's going to be a tea, afternoon tea, something simple, and it's going to take place at the church, which will be, and the whole idea is that you come to the church with your rubber duck, and so that's the invitation, the time, the place, and there also happens to be a beck in this village as well. It's real, I'm not made it up. And so the invitation is to come, have tea. Everyone will get a packet of seeds. And the invitation is to scatter them in a place in the village, in the vicinity, together. So it's actually bringing the people together and the church together. It's getting the people to know the church is there as well. And then we will have the duck race, of course. And not only that, so that's fun, and we will collect them afterwards, of course. But then when, in the autumn, we will then have another afternoon tea, when the flowers will be cut down and hung up with the pegs. And the seeds will be re-sown next season.
Our final number is number 12.
No pressure on me then. Greetings from your Anglican sisters, because the church is for everyone panel. So we take the same idea. We take the tag, we write the invite, we put the invite on the duck, we put the peg and hide the duck. The people find the duck, they come to the church, they drink the tea, they receive a gift, they take the seeds, they plant the seeds, they encounter the love of Jesus.
Amazing how many ideas you can come up with using 5 elements that you normally don't have. You take for granted that the tea bags are just tea bags, and that rubber ducks are just plastic things that sit at the top of the mantelpiece somewhere, but they're now friends and earrings. But while we're waiting for our panel to add up all the points, we're going to listen to some music from Jenny.
It's hard to follow that, really. But I know how excited you all are. The atmosphere in the room is tense. Thank you, thank you. We have a tie. We have a tie for second place. So, in second place, tied teams, table 7 and table 4. Stand up. Stand up. Table 7 and table 4, stand up. Okay, sit down. You didn't come first. Well tried. Oh, I can't really be that mean, I'm sorry. In first place, tied for first place. Oh, it was close. Tables. On any reality show, this is where they pause and do something really annoying, isn't it? Okay.
They might even say, we'll tell you after lunch.
Yeah. Before I announce the prize, the winners, the winning tables are allowed to go to the World Federation stall to choose a prize or to collect their prize. Right, the winners are tables 15 and 16. Stand up, ladies. Well done, everybody.
Could we have a big round of applause for table 15 and 16? And could we also have a big round of applause for our panel, our solar panel? Thank you very much.